Welcome everybody live here for the ACOG iRacing series, here presented to you by MaxspeedTV as we get set for 150 laps of racing. 225 miles going to go into the books here for this round number 6 out of 12. So we're halfway through the season, and this marking the halfway point of the season. I'm just being repetitive. Regardless, thank you all for tuning in here for tonight. My name is EZECKIEL.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Since we're approaching the halfway point, that means those guys that are not that close in the points need to start hitting all their marks if they want to catch up. And speaking of which, we'll go look no further than our points standings here coming into tonight's event. Malachi Drake with a 13-point advantage over Parker White in the 95. And I mean, everybody on the left, I think, is still in it, but with only 6 races left after tonight, it's going to become more and more difficult as these weeks pass by to catch them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And as well as, because you know, we're coming down to playoff time in a moment. It's not far off until we go playoff racing here in ACOG. I'm looking at the schedule right now. It seems as though this is the third and final race before we start going playoff racing. All we have is Martinsville, then Dega is next. And
I admittedly forgot about that.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, 3
so
more
you really
races.
have to catch up now.
Yeah, I mean, now's the time to set your best foot forward and get yourself righted for this top 10. And for all these people inside this top 10, you can't miss a race, or else you're gonna be out of it.
Yeah, and with the situation being that more dire, I mean, you really can't now. And I believe it's going to be 8 cars that make the playoffs, if I remember correctly.
It's 10.
With 4 or 10.
Yeah.
So 10 down to 4 for the final race. So if you're on the left side of the screen, if you're Mitch Hobbs or further up, you're looking pretty good right now. But if you're Mark Frimpong or further down, I'd be a bit concerned, because that line between 10th and 11th is very close, and there's guys on either side of it that could jump in or get bumped out.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that points bubble as well. I mean, it's not big. It's only 5 points between Williams and Cole, but at the same time, I mean, you got people inside that top 10 who did it show. So you got, I don't think Hobbs is here. And Justin Johnson's not here either. I don't think Malachi is here either, your points leader. But luckily for him, he has a huge points buffer over those other drivers. But for those other drivers who didn't show up here for tonight, like Mitch Hobbs, they might fall out of the top 10, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, we don't really have that many cars here for tonight. I think we're going to have around 15-ish cars competing, but of course with the new point system, the amount of cars in the field doesn't have nearly as much of an impact as it used to. So qualifying has already finished, actually, since we started a bit later than we usually do, and it looks like Dylan Basin has won the pole here for tonight's race, and I believe that is now the 3rd consecutive week that 08 has taken the pole position. And he'll be joined on the front row there by Cole Williams in the 42, who is coming into tonight's race in that last playoff spot.
Got Nick Miller in the number 19, going to be in P3. Benjamin A. White in the 15. He's had a few good runs lately. Hopefully this 15 could run himself a top 5 after tonight.
Row 3, Hunter Rupp in the 61, and Mark Frimpong, one of those near the bottom of the playoffs right now, so he needs a good, strong run to keep himself above that line.
William George, he's going to be making his first start in that number 9. Ryan came right alongside of him.
And the rest of the top 10, Sartaj Mon in the 49, and Parker White, who came into tonight's race 2nd in the points. Alongside him, rest of the order will be shown on the bottom of your screen, and, well, that's it. We got 13 for tonight. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching the Xfinity Series finale at Phoenix right now, so that probably is contributing to the smaller field size. So it's 150 laps for only 13 cars. So it's going to be a long one here for tonight, but we'll see who ends up coming out on top.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the field size would spike back up coming to next week at Martinsville. which is unfortunate.
Talladega.
Yeah, especially for Talladega in a few weeks, but, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, we're going to see the field spike back up on a short track, so there's going to be a lot of beating and banging for that checkered flag, and should be fun to see how that'll work out, but right now, Dylan Basin in that 08, going to lead this thing to green.
And yeah, the small field size for tonight, despite there not being, or despite the point system changing, you know, we're if you finish last, you're still going to gain around, I think, 27 or 28 points. Whereas if we have a full field, because in all likelihood we're going to have near a full field at Talladega in 2 weeks, and if you finish last there, that's going to net you about 1 or 2 points. So finishing last today is a lot better than it is in a bigger field. So for those guys near the cut line, I mean, honestly, even a last place finish today would still be a pretty big points boost towards those that are not here tonight.
Yeah, that's right. And I just calculated about the points. You're earning 30 points just for finishing last. That's a big amount of points to set yourself up for the rest of these 2 races. As we see the green flag drop. Bad start there by Frimpong. He did not get going, and already some drivers dropping to the back because of that. They got bottled up. One of them was Ryan Kane, but we're green flag racing as Williams.
Oh, what is happening? The entire field has wrecked in.
Wow.
What?
They're still wrecking.
Something must be wrong with the session, because the entire field just wadded it up into one. Like, that looked like the 2001 All-Star race here at Charlotte, where the whole field just went into turn 1, and everybody wrecked it. There's Cole in the wall, and then Basin spun on his own, and literally everybody else just got collected in it. Like, I think every single car is damaged.
Oh my goodness.
What the heck just happened?
We're going to have a lot of people out already.
And again, this is a 150 lap race, and we might have just lost half the field of 13 in 2 corners. I don't understand what could have possibly caused that to happen.
Like, I'm bewildered. I'm bewildered too.
Like, Cole's car, it just flew up into the wall, and then you see Basin just spinning there. I mean, like, I'm at a loss for words. I don't understand how that could have happened.
And Miller spun as well right after that.
Frimpong took a huge hit to the inside wall back there too. There's Rupp. Benjamin got a lot of air back there, so did Cole. And there's the 53, I mean. Again, literally every single car in the field was involved in that, and just... And
too
there's the 19,
early.
And what? I feel like there had to have been a session issue of some kind for, like, that to happen. Cole said his base turned off, and that's what sent him up into the outside wall, but Dylan spinning out at the exact same time ahead of him was just weird.
I think Dylan, I mean, those looked like 2 separate incidents.
Maybe you're right, because at first I thought they were related, but wow. But yeah, that one had some serious 2001 All-Star race vibes to it.
And look at the amount of cars who are damaged on pit road. My goodness.
I mean, it's everybody. That's literally the whole field.
Yeah, just about.
I mean, Basin spun it, but I don't think he hit anything. Miller's coming off pit road. He did pick up some front-end damage. Doesn't look too bad. Parker White might have gotten through it okay. Ryan Kame now being shown in 3rd. This car looks okay. And we mentioned right off the bat, that car on the outside, Frimpong, getting a bad start. It forced Kame all the way to the back, but looks like that ended up helping him, because it probably gave him ample time to slow down and miss this whole thing.
William George, who is making his first start in that number 9, he's going to have his front end torn off for the rest of the race. That...
Not the only one.
Man.
Looks like Parker does have front end damage as well. Frimpong's going to be without a front end in all likelihood. You see the right rear damage to DeAngelis, trying to make it 2 wins on the season after taking the win at Auto Club.
He's in good position. I mean, you got Parker White still there, but my goodness, it's a really unfortunate event. I mean, imagine how many people would have been involved if we had like a full field. That'd be.
I was just thinking that would have been like a 25 or 30 car wreck in all likelihood. But proportionately, I mean, we're gonna have people out of the race already. Hunter might be out already. Benjamin might be out.
Yeah,
This reminds me of the next gen race at Atlanta. That race, I think, only had 3 cars finish on the lead lap, and well, we might be on our way to that tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Too early. It's too early. Well, I mean, it was a mechanical issue. I mean, it was a software issue or hardware issue that caused all of that. As we're going to take the green flag with lap number 5. Basin scoots himself forward. Hopefully he doesn't get loose this time, but Parker got a good enough restart to stay alongside of him. They're dooring for the lead.
Oh, and they touch again. They're into turn 1. Basin and White. Those two have traded wins the last 3 weeks. Basin at Atlanta, Parker at Bristol, and Basin last week at Chicagoland. And those two starting to pull away from the rest of the field again, so it looks like we might see those two go at it here. Oh, and Basin goes into the outside wall hard. Caution is out. Miller involved again. Oh, and he gets clobbered. Somebody did not slow down at all and just flew in there at about 150 and sent the 08 flying. And already on lap 6, the caution out again, and one of the only cars that didn't have damage is now destroyed.
Schmidt and Parker, I think, I'm not sure if there was bad blood off that restart, because they doored all the way coming through 1 and 2. I'm not sure what that was all about. I'm not sure what they were doing.
I wonder if Basin had handling problems or something, but
yeah, I mean, of course,
we nearly so weird.
We nearly saw him spin earlier, but watch this again. Off the restart, I mean, Basin, he pushed up big time on Parker right there. They door right there. They're gonna door again.
Yeah, Parker came down
and again.
They doored him twice.
So what was supposed to be a friendly rival has now turned violent. Here at Charlotte.
Basin ran Parker a bit high there out of 2, and then you got to see into 3. Did Parker send it on him, or what? What was the deal here?
Looks like Basin got tight, but I don't know if Parker was trying to cross him over or what.
Cam got a piece of that. There's Miller sliding in, and then watch. That's what I was seeing right there. Sartaj in the 49 just did not slow down at all, and caused Basin and Miller to go flying through the air.
And because of that, Klein has a bunch of damage.
Oh, yeah, Klein got involved as well. Basin's facing the wrong way on pit road. So Schmidt is now the leader. He's the only car on track as everyone else is on pit road. Basin is still being shown in 3rd despite that huge wreck. I mean, he's smoking. He's going to be done for the night. He might just run that thing until the motor expires at this point and try to pick up as many points as he can. But, I mean, William is literally the only car on track right now. What? I've never in my life seen anything like this before. There's Kame. I think he took some optional because he clipped the 08. And it looks like he's going to go back down pit road and take some more. But
has to be the messiest race.
Is there anybody else left? Did everyone else leave?
No, they're still on the racetrack. We're on pit road right now, just repairing, as much damage as they can, but has to be one of the messiest starts to a race I've seen in a while. Last one I can remember was like the Martinsville Next Gen race, as well as the... what else? Some other race that's on top of my head that I can't really say. It's on the tip of my tongue though. I just can't. I can't find the. I forgot. But man, you got Basin out, you got Parker, who's just about out. I think Parker, he's actually a lap down right now. I think Parker got held a lap. I'm not really sure what the admin call was at.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a penalty issued, perhaps. But wow. I mean, who's left? I mean, you see the smoke there for Basin. I don't imagine that motor's going to last very long.
No.
If I had to guess, that will probably go 10 laps at the most before it goes out.
Basin's mad at
Yeah, Parker. I mean, I can understand it. I mean, it looked like, and there was definitely contact between those two going into that corner. I mean, if there is anger there, I can certainly understand. You see, Basin's laying on Parker's bumper right now, just out of camera shot.
And there's rights to be mad.
Yeah, he's not too thrilled right now, and I can't say I blame him. Yeah, they're not done yet. They're still... So the pace lights are off, and it looks like we've got 5 cars on track for the restart here.
There's still like a few cars on pit road, so they're probably gonna get that repaired and work himself on the track, but jeez.
Wow.
Too early for kind of shenanigans to happen.
So we're pretty much at this point going to have 140 laps with 4 cars. Because I'm not counting Basin in this because, again, his engine's likely going to go pretty shortly. But the pace car will go down onto pit road.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is back out. And let's see what happens here with the 2 cars back there, Parker and Dylan. Yeah, they're going at it. That might be another caution soon. They're both way off the pace right now.
Yeah, Basin...
This is another caution waiting to happen. And the damage for Basin, Parker's going to be able to pull away, but it would not surprise me if, you know, Dylan might end up waiting for him the next time he comes by. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Up front, Schmidt starting to pull away a bit from Ryan Kame, and the damage that DeAngelis has is going to send him a bit further back in 3rd. William George running in, that will be 4th, I believe. And everyone else is out. Like, that's it. And these two are... It looks like Parker might be laying back on purpose.
Sertage and Frimpong and Benjamin all are on pit road, as well as I think Cole Williams as well. So they're just maybe trying to get their engines repaired and put themselves back on the racetrack. But right now, just
with the way Sertage flew into that last wreck, I don't envision him returning to the race.
We're left again, just these few drivers. So let's talk points to fill in the time. Again, there's not a lot of people here on in the race right now. So you got Schmidt, who's leading it, and Payson, of course, roaming around with a blown shit box. And Schmidt now pulling away from you know, the rest of the field. Again, with Schmidt's what you call it? Schmidt's situation on points coming in here for tonight. He sits looks like he sits 13th coming in here for tonight, so and all he has to do is, you know, finish up front. He's pulling away from Ryan Kame, so basically treat this more like an endurance race now, since you have so many laps left.
I mean, at this point, to me, it kind of almost feels like you're just hot lapping. There's literally just like 3 or 4 cars left on track. And Bason's now a lap down, so he's 4th. Parker might have disconnected, actually, because he's now 2 laps behind Bason. But
yeah, Parker's still on the track. He's still just roaming around right now.
Oh, well, he's drifting through the whatever corner that was. And Bason is still out there despite the smoke out of his engine. I'm surprised that thing's held up as long as it has.
Hunter Rupp in the 61, he's back on the racetrack. William George in the 9, he's disconnected, so Rupp's bound to get a few positions. By means of that, I mean, Sertage is still here, Frimpong is still here, and Benjamin's still here, so I think Cole's still here as well. He's sitting on pit road, so we're just waiting for those drivers to enter the racetrack. As Parker's going to let William by.
And I believe that will put him 4 laps down now.
I don't know why Parker's so many laps down. I mean,
yeah, like I said, we've literally got 3 cars on the lead lap, and I think DeAngelis is quite a ways back now with the damage he's incurred. Yeah, he's about 8.5 seconds back, so DeAngelis will probably get lapped before, or definitely, if this goes green all the way, he'll be lapped before this is over, but we'll see how long it takes for him to get there. I mean, but Kame is hanging in there. He hasn't really lost any more time, but he hasn't really gained it back either. He's kind of hovering around a second back. So if an issue occurs at some point with William, I mean, Ryan Kame might be able to fall into a potential victory here.
yeah, and Kame's never won in ACOG before, but in terms of wins for Schmidt, he hasn't won in a while. Schmidt's last victory was in the Xfinity car at Michigan when NASCAR was still running. That was I think a season or 2 ago. Schmidt hanging on for right now, but Kame, of course, not letting him go. And DeAngelis seems as though he's not going to be a contender in this exchange, because he's fallen off way harder than what I thought he would have.
Yeah, DeAngelis at this point is basically going to need Schmidt and Kame to wreck out. But still on track right now to finish in 3rd place, which will be good for him in points.
Right.
Though, I mean, these still might be the most boring 125 laps these guys ever run, but as long as they complete them all, they're pretty much guaranteed a top 5 finish, so at least there's a good reward at the end, I guess.
Yep. Rupp has worked himself in the 6th spot, and he's passed William George and Matthew Klein. There you see him right there. Parker's on pit road. Bason's on pit road. Finally, he's getting his engine repaired. So Parker bound to pick up a. Actually, no. Parker has already passed Bason in the 08.
Yeah, I wonder if the engine might have finally let go. And Schmidt's hitting pit road, and so is Kame. What? Huh? Is the fuel window potentially that short? As DeAngelis also is hitting pit road.
Yeah, so people are gonna slide onto pit road. And
This race is getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah, it's getting weird.
Well, Schmidt just went behind the wall. Did he just disconnect from the lead?
I'm not really sure what's going on now anymore.
Well,
they might have called the race a bit early, you know, with the amount of stuff that's going on. So,
I mean, there's only 3 or 4 cars on track. I guess it seems there has been a collective decision made to mess around at this point.
Yeah, and same situation what we saw last week in the endurance series, in which, you know, everybody collectively, you know, just decided to go ahead and just call the race for now. But if that's the case, then it's the broadcast. So y'all could just tune into the Xfinity race, or we'll forward you to the next MaxspeedTV broadcast with that's ongoing right now. So yeah, if that's the case, then unfortunate, but you know, things happen. So
All right.
yeah, I guess that's it. And since
So what is this? We taking the results as they are now, or what are we doing here?
and no clue. We're just gonna have to find out once.
I'm gonna be honest. We shouldn't even count results from this.
No, probably.
I think we should just shift everything back a week and just rerun this next week.
Yeah. There's a lot of messy stuff going on right now, so we'll just have to see on how it'll all work out. But until next time, unfortunately, we had to end the broadcast early. Dewey?
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Any things you want to go ahead and insert before we end off tonight's broadcast in a weird way?
Oh, I didn't know you were still live, but yeah, we'll see where we go from here. I mean, we'll figure out whether or not the results from tonight are counted or not. But obviously, the remaining cars have decided to collectively no longer race tonight. So, I mean, thanks for tuning in to what was put on here for tonight. Unfortunately, you know, it was kind of a sunken ship from the beginning. But, you know, again, thank you once again for your viewership here. And, well, we will provide more information at a later date in terms of how this will be handled. And, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. We'll
not much else to say.
Yeah, not much else to say. We'll go ahead and see you next week, though.